Okay, welcome everybody to the Ascension Meditation Introduction. My name is Dr. Elena Pesini, connecting from beautiful, sunny Las Vegas, and I'm so happy you're all here. I all know you in a actually professional capacity, but to me, it's more fun to do business with friends, so you're all my friends.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I've also collaborated with our hosts, co-hosts for tonight, Surya and Skanda. Their names are Jeff and Nancy, but they have a spiritual name. They'll tell you all about it. And I've known them for 7 years in a professional capacity, and they've been telling me that they practice this amazing technique of meditation called ascension, and they practice, they travel all over the world with it, and they have amazing magical results. So when I moved to Las Vegas, somehow from Los Angeles, in Los Angeles, there was a big group of practitioners of ascension meditation, but somehow I was never there. I was like in Italy, all over the map. So when I moved to Las Vegas, and right now I'm a little stable here because I have an old dog. She is Lord.
Sammy. Hello, Sammy.
Who's got some leg issues. So this is my base for now. And so Jeff and Surya said, you know, hey, why don't we introduce this technique to Las Vegas? I think it will be really good. So we're the first ones to introduce it. And they've done a movie about this amazing technique, which was in the email. I don't know if you all got it. It's also on the website. But anyway, it's Jeff and Surya can tell you a little bit more about how they got started. But maybe we want Cecilia and Jamie to introduce themselves as well. So take it from here.
Jamie. You can go, Jamie.
Oh, you're okay, good.
Hi. So my name is Jamie Pawelski, and I live in Las Vegas as well. And professionally, I'm a booking agent for professional speakers. I've been doing that for almost 6 years, and I'm very much into personal development. I really don't even know what this meditation's all about, but I'm all about personal development and developing myself and just improving myself and learning different things to improve my life business-wise and professionally. So I just wanted to see what this was all about. So thank you for the invite.
May I ask, what is exactly when you said booking speakers? So
what does that mean?
Yes. What do you specifically?
So I work with professional speakers. They speak on all different topics. It can be motivational speakers, or they speak on personal and professional development, sales training, all different topics. So I've been booking just really one speaker for 5.5 years with one program. And I actually just started my own booking agency where I have a lot of different speakers. I'm going to be booking all over the country. Yeah.
Wow.
So, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes. And I want to meet you.
I want to meet you.
And well, so now it's my turn, I think.
Your turn.
Yeah. I cannot see the couple. Can you or not?
Yeah,
I'm just seeing you.
We can see the couple. Maybe just click on the image and it'll rearrange itself.
Okay. Here you go. Okay, now I can see everybody. Here. Okay. Well, my name is Cecilia Bonfanti. I'm educational psychologist, and I work as a life and executive and performance coach, individually, one-to-one, and also with corporations. And it doesn't matter where is the field that they are working. If you have people, I can work with them. That's what I do the most.
And Cecilia is originally from Italy.
Well, Bombante. Bombante.
in beautiful Argentina.
Yes. Yes. I'm
So did-
American already. I was born in Argentina, but my family background is from Italy. So I'm American citizen and Italian citizen as well. So yeah,
Wow.
Terrific.
and I'm here because when Elena told me if I was interested in learning, and I am a person who is all the time, you know, mentoring and coaching other people, and I have my own mentors and my own coaches. So if I don't believe that keep growing is what they're gonna take us further, I have to abandon my profession right now. And exactly. So that's why I would love to know about you.
Welcome, welcome. And I also don't know much about it either. So
Oh, okay.
we're all in the same place. So let's hear it.
Yeah, so my name's Surya, and I work as a registered nurse full time at a Vancouver Cancer Center here in
Wow.
Vancouver. I work with radiation therapy patients, and I love to work with the patients, and I love to help them sleep. And so I've been doing that since 2006 here in Vancouver. A little bit about, well, I guess that's about it. Do you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about how we
Sure,
got
sure.
to Ascension?
My name is Skanda, and
There is a little bit of echo.
Yes.
I'm gonna mute just to so
Yeah,
there
I'm gonna
isn't.
mute myself too.
yeah, that's a good idea. Everybody mute except for us. Cool. So I've been living with Surya in Canada since 2003. I am mostly retired. I've just created an online radio station that is dedicated to exploring the infinite now. And it's all of our hosts on the radio station are all teachers of Ascension. And we have a common theme, and that is exploring the infinite now and having conversations about that all of the time. And that's pretty much what I talk about all day to other teachers and people. And we're just getting started and having a great time with it. We've had 3 broadcasts. One of our hosts has been broadcasting from Oslo, Norway. Another one from Sweden. I trained today, and we have several that are coming on from Mexico. So it's a global effort for us. It's really great. I've been I learned how to ascend. I took my first course in the first weekend in May of 1997. And I've been doing this practice every day, and I have not missed a day since the first day that I learned how to practice. And one of the reasons why I haven't missed a day is because it's so simple and easy to do. It's easier actually to do the practice than it is for me to talk about the practice. It's so simple and easy. And the benefits are profound. Some things, some of the growth that I've experienced has taken longer. Some of it has happened immediately. I learned on a Friday night, and we teach 4 techniques over the weekend. And the first one that I learned, I took it home that evening and just had one technique, and immediately my sleep patterns did a complete flip. And I started getting the sleep and the rest that I really needed at that time. And Ascension is something that's going to give you what you need presently, what is most important for you, even though you may have an idea about what you want to improve in your life. Well, the universe has a bigger idea. And so there were other things that I wanted to have changed in my life because I had heard that ascension helped heal you in so many ways. And for me at that time, it was about sleep and getting rest. I was actually living a life of exhaustion, and I started sleeping. It was really a great thing. And I haven't missed a day ascending since the first weekend in May of '97. I started teaching in September of '98, and I've taught, I don't know, a couple of thousand people globally since then. And I've taught all around the world. I've taught all across the United States. I've taught in Canada. I've taught in the UK. I've taught in Europe. I spent 5 months in Japan teaching, and which was an incredible experience. And my best sponsor there was a Zen Buddhist monk, and we got to teach his whole congregation how to ascend. It was fantastic. But anyway, it's just really been a wonderful experience for me to share this incredible teaching to everyone around the world. And it's really an honor for me to just be here with you tonight and sharing this.
Well, I'll talk about how I came across ascension and why I learned to ascend. And that was because I was working in Ontario and as a registered nurse, and I just wasn't experiencing peace. I kept looking for things. I kept looking for tools to grow. And eventually it's like I had this backpack of tools and I didn't really know what to do with that. But I knew there's a hole there, a gap. And so I kept looking, and a friend, she was a massage therapist and she had learned to ascend. I didn't know that, but I looked at her and I said, "You're different. You are more grounded and present. What have you done?" And so she told me, so I knew I needed to take the course. But what I found was that when I first learned to ascend is that I came home. I came home here and I experienced peace. And the changes I noticed were gradual as well in the outside world. I became more present with my job. I became more present with people and having conversations. And I just like Skanda haven't missed a day of ascending since I did learn the practice. And that's because I did notice benefits right away. And people also noticed them. They said, you're more grounded and accessible. That's how they gave me feedback. And so it made such a difference in my life, a profound difference, that I started to teach it. I became a teacher of ascension, took the course, and just see it as a way to remind people really who they are, that you're not the thinking mind, but we call it the ascendant, the divine, but live a life from there. And it's make the world a difference. And it's actually changed the relationship with thought. I know I'm not the thoughts, but the observer of thought. And so that's the big difference. And so we'll talk a little bit about that in the introductory talk tonight. That's a bit about my life.
So we'll just get right into it.
Thank you.
Yeah, when we teach a course, the weekend course that's going to come up in May at Elena's house in Las Vegas, we'll get into more of how it's affected our lives and made such incredible shifts, because we have stories and stories and stories about how it's changed us. But tonight we're just going to tell you mostly how ascension works and how it'll work for you. You know, and because we all have different nervous systems, how it's going to affect you is an individual thing. So we can't really go, Elena, when you take ascension, it's going to do this, this, and this. And then Jamie, when you take ascension, it's going to do this, this, this. We can't tell you what's going to happen. We can just share our experiences with you over the time of the weekend. But we know one thing for certain. The only time that ascension does not work after you have learned is if you don't do the practice. That's the only reason it doesn't work. And for everybody that continues to practice, they're going to notice changes and shifts in their lives that they mostly never really expected. So, which is really an amazing thing, because it's the surprises are great and wonderful and hilarious, and sometimes a bit intense, but there's such a great support system. It's really amazing.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for busy bees like me, okay, when you say you have to keep practicing, I'm like, oh my God, okay, one more thing in my schedule. Does that mean we have to commit every day for like a minimum amount of time, or is there a minimum amount of time that it can still be effective?
Yes. And we recommend people to do the practice 2 or 3 times a day for maybe 20 minutes each time.
Really?
That's it.
That's it? That's a lot.
That's with
Okay.
your eyes
That's
closed.
with your eyes closed. But because this is a closed-eyed practice and an open eyes, you can use it throughout the day
Okay.
with your eyes open as well,
Okay.
which is really amazing. And you'll learn about that as well, and how each one of
That
those
sounds better.
types of practice. But you have to do both, Elena.
Okay.
Yeah, and every person that I've ever taught has gone, oh no, where am I going to fit this in my schedule? But what is an amazing thing is that it is so sweet and so divine when you close your eyes and you drop into this place of deep rest, that it becomes sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, and you won't mind. Actually, you'll be looking forward to your 2 or 3 times a day for 20 minutes. And that's across the board. Everybody does that.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
You'll fit it in, honest. You'll find it. You'll work in a place for that.
Yes. Yes. Okay. The other question. Okay, Cecilia. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Cecilia. Oh yeah. Let me unmute you. Maybe you. Okay. Here.
Yeah, I didn't do it. Yeah. I'm thinking when people are telling you that that is a lot of time, 20 minutes, 3 times a day. If we are really trying to work on ourselves, I don't think it's too much time, actually. I think it's very little, because I have been studying practical philosophy, which I was going to ask you, what is the ascendant based on? Which kind of philosophy is based on? And that takes you 24/7, because if you don't work on yourself, what you are working for?
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just, you are busy for whom? If you are not there, you're doing things for whom? I don't know. I have time for myself 24/7, because even though when I'm with my clients, I'm doing my destiny. So I'm there for me as well.
And because this is such a wonderful eyes open technique as well.
Yeah.
While you're with your clients, while you're engaging with anybody, you can be doing these techniques. I've been practicing this whole time that I've been here.
Exactly. And me too.
Yeah. So
know your technique, because I don't know it yet, but what I know. And that's what I think. If we are people who are really having professions that we are trying to help others in some way, or ourselves, we should have time for ourselves. If not, I don't really, I tell you again, so far people who don't have time, they don't end it up very well.
They don't pardon? They
don't end it up very well.
yeah.
Because they are so busy that they forget about them and they ended up killing themselves.
Well, there you go. Thank you for that.
Straight shooters.
Straight shooter indeed.
I think we found the next teacher. Anyway, I have one more question, also in case this recording goes viral. Okay, so so I'm not religious. I'm obviously spiritual. So some people may think it's this meditation technique because it's called ascension. Jesus technically ascended. So they may mix it with religion or stuff. So can you say something about that? And also based on the philosophy question that Cecilia had while I grab more water. Go for it.
Sure. I'll run down the board. So, let me know if you can't see what I'm writing.
Okay.
So, the Ashayas.
Oh, I love your handwriting.
Thanks. Ascension. Can you see over there?
Yes.
So I want to say one more thing. I didn't mean to offend anybody who's religious. I love all religions. I celebrate everything. I celebrated Easter last week. I'm celebrating Passover this whole week. I'm celebrating Orthodox Easter this Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to sound racist or discriminatory. Okay, I'll mute myself again before I say something else that's not kosher.
Okay, so Ashaya means for higher consciousness. So for higher consciousness. And then ascension, all that means is to rise beyond the surface level of the mind. So just to ascend beyond that. So it does sound a bit odd, perhaps, but that's it.
Yeah, it's very, very simple. Yeah, so we're just rising above all the thoughts that are in our head. The only thing that keeps us from moving ahead or growing or getting out of our grooves that we're in is that somewhere consciously or subconsciously, there's an idea or a thought or a concept that we have running in the background maybe, or right in the front, and we are aware of it, but still can't get beyond it. There's just an idea or a thought that keeps us from that. And so ascension literally means to rise above all of that and to experience something greater.
I'm sorry, may I ask you, who was the one who created the name?
His name was Maharishi Sadashiva Isham, and he created this system as it is in the early 90s. And his teacher was Paramananda Paramahansa
Yogananda, right? He's
Yeah.
the one that is in Encinita. Got you. I knew it.
And so,
I knew it.
And so he kind of branched away and also created this system, and it's really been amazing. I learned how to do TM in the 80s or the 70s, and it was good for me when I had my eyes closed. But when I opened my eyes, it seemed like I was back in life, and I just couldn't sit in a cave all the time. I couldn't sit with my eyes closed to do this. And one of the reasons why I wanted to learn how to meditate was because they claimed, TM claimed that it helped cure insomnia. And I had not too long before returned from Vietnam. I was in Vietnam for a couple of years. And so I had a lot of nightmares, and I just couldn't get to sleep. My mind was going all the time, just continually going and going and going. And, you know, and I was worrying about the past, you know, and judging my past and all the things that I did, you know, especially over there. And then worrying about my future, and I was never present with myself, and I could never get any rest. And so I learned TM, and I experienced some level of peace with my eyes closed. But when I opened my eyes, it was still back to the same thing. I was still facing me. And so I went and talked to my teachers, and I said, is there something I can do with my eyes open? You know, I mean, what's going on? And so they said, no, sorry. You know, you just have to keep closing your eyes and close your eyes more and more and more and more. And I said, well, I got to live, you know? And
yeah,
so,
exactly.
So it helped me with my insomnia for a number of years. And then, and I quit the practice. You know, I just went, okay, well, I'm getting my rest and I don't need to practice anymore. And so I could fall asleep, you know, relatively easy, and then wake up when I wanted. Well, after so many years of that, well, I started getting back into the groove of life, and so my sleep patterns kind of went back to no sleep and no rest. And that was one of the reasons why I learned how to ascend, besides my life going into toilet at the time. But so Maharishi Sadashiva Isham created this system, and he started teaching, and then he started teaching teachers, and so we've grown bigger and bigger, and now we have about 600 teachers worldwide.
600.
Yeah, 600 teachers worldwide, and we're all practicing all of the time. You know, we're pretty busy, everybody. We have courses going all over, and retreats all over, you know, just fantastic, you know. And
you don't have to become a teacher, right? You can just practice.
Yeah.
No, you do not have to become a teacher of Ascension to enjoy the benefits of Ascension. But there are retreats that you can go to help enliven your experience, and more courses that you can go to. And we'll talk more about that too. But it's pretty amazing to be able to have such great support, because we're available 24 hours a day, anywhere. And it doesn't matter. After you've learned, you can go anywhere on the planet where there's a course and repeat it for free. And,
yeah.
Which is really amazing, you know. And there's always more, you know.
Yes. May I ask you something else?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. The kind of exercises that you're talking about, they are physical. I know that they touch, you know, the three centers, the intellectual, the emotion, and the body, right? Am I right?
Sure.
Okay. That is more related with what Yogananda called Hatha Yoga. So what I was going to ask you is also what you're teaching when people open their eyes, that they can, as you said, they cannot be with their eyes meditating in the middle of the office, because they might be fired for that. Or this is cuckoo. And yeah. So do you use as well Raya Yoga, which is more practical and also is something that you can do with your eyes very open?
Well, what we're going to do is do just a talk about it, and then I think that'll become more clear.
Okay.
So I think probably best we'll just move along with, we have some diagrams to show, and I think clarity will be found. But if you have further, if it isn't clear for you by the end, then just by all means just ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry if I asked something before I should.
That's great.
No,
You're
no,
very
we want-
interested and keen. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna just draw a tree here. So this is a wishing tree, a magic tree. And so I'm gonna ask you if you could have anything in the world, your highest desire would be granted to you, what would it be?
Skanda the genie says, what can I get for you?
Your highest desire.
What is your highest desire? Just one thing. What is your highest desire?
Oh, Elena? Oh, I can't hear you, Elena. You're muted.
All people, everybody, to be nice to one another. That was my biggest wish.
Oh, nice to one another. Okay.
Go ahead.
What would, okay, nice to one another. Okay, excellent.
Well, what about you, Jamie? What would be your highest desire? Anything. You know, a big giant 4-wheel drive truck, you know, some monster truck, or
Mine is not material. So my highest desire is to have a passive 6-figure income. So residual, passive, whatever word you want to use, 6-figure income. So I have time freedom and financial freedom.
Makes sense.
Freedom, I guess.
yeah, financial freedom.
Financial freedom. And time freedom.
Yeah, specifically as passive 6-figure income.
Okay, 6-figure income.
I love it. You have it so clear. I love it. Jenny.
Yep, and it needs to be a passive 6-figure income.
Yes,
Yeah,
All right.
excellent.
I love it.
Cecilia?
Huh. I know I have many, not just one. I will tell you the craziest one. How about that?
The what one?
I have many, but I will tell you just because I like to experiment reactions, the craziest one.
Okay, sure. The craziest one.
Yeah. Which Giovanna will understand what I'm saying. To become an angel.
Okay.
You start laughing.
Okay.
So,
all the master, as Yogananda used to call. Okay.
oh, so Skanda goes, you got your wish. What would that bring you?
Me or the other people?
Cecilia.
To me,
Yes.
wisdom.
Wisdom.
And what would that wisdom bring you?
Everything. With wisdom, you can do everything.
Yeah, but there's something under there that it's going to give you. What would have all the wisdom?
It's like, do you remember the Solomon King? He asked chess for wisdom. With that, he did the rest.
Yeah.
If you have wisdom, you have everything else. Financial, peace, relationship with other. Wisdom.
Sure. And so you said the one word that was really key there, and that would be peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
You have everything. You can have
everything.
the whole tree with
Yeah.
wisdom.
Yeah. So Jamie, if you had a 6-figure income that was very passive,
Let's celebrate first.
Not very passive, but all like 100% passive.
okay, so you got that. What would that bring you?
Well, peace is the biggest word, peace. And it's the time freedom, financial freedom, because if I'm making a passive 6-figure income, I don't have to work anymore unless I choose to. So I can do ministry, which I want to do. I can travel. I can basically do whatever I want if I have that financial and time freedom. So it's just peace, stress-free, joy.
Peace and joy.
Mm-hmm.
So Elena,
Yes. So what would that bring me?
if everybody's nice to each other, what's gonna happen?
Well, I know what's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So there wouldn't be violence, there wouldn't be starvation, there wouldn't be, any bad stuff happening.
Well, what would there be?
Would there be like
Peace. No war is peace.
yeah, peace meaning people won't worry, everything, we will be taken care of, no stress, kindness, happiness, all of that.
Love.
Yeah, laugh.
Let's
say love.
Man. Let's say love.
Love.
One's nice one.
So when we ask this question, I've asked it thousands of times, literally thousands of times. And it boils down to, the bottom line is, because people put out, all kinds of answers. I've had people say, man, I'd like a complete passive income of over 6 figures, and they want to experience, really, the bottom line is one of two things or both, and that's peace or joy.
Or love.
Or love, which is kind of a combo of the both, and the only thing that keeps us from having that experience is, like I mentioned before, there's a thought or an idea that we have running consciously or subconsciously that keeps us from experiencing that.
Okay. And the source of all the peace and love and joy comes from, we call this the ascendant, but it could also be the infinite, the unbounded, all that is. So just different words for the same thing. And so why don't we experience this? What's happened? And so, like, when we come into the world, we're completely innocent. You see babies, they're just right there with you. They're completely present. And they're not thinking, they're just like, marker, and they're like, and then you take the marker away and then you show the same marker and you're like, it's the same marker, but they see it just each moment like it's new. And so what happens, though, as we get older, we begin to develop beliefs, we begin to develop grooves, which and move us from that experience. So it could be that we have the experience of a belief that we're not loved, that we're unworthy of love. That can be the very first one. And it can start from our parents. It could be that they didn't pick us up quickly enough when we're crying. And we don't have the thought, oh, they didn't pick me up, so they don't love me. It's just this impression that happens in our nervous system. And then as we get older, we go to school. We have experiences at school. And then another belief or groove, we call them, can develop. Can be competition at school. There can be, oh, I need to get high grades. Then I get praise from the teacher. Or if I get high grades, then maybe I get an ice cream cone or just whatever.
Accepted by my peers.
Accepted by my peers. Yeah, you have to do something in order to feel loved. And then more grooves can develop, and we begin to think more. When we're infants, we're just completely present, and the world is divine. It's through that innocence that we experience this, all that is, we're that.
but we begin to forget. Most of us begin to forget. And what we say is the mind moves outward. It begins to think and just think more and more. And their children too, they experience angels. We hear children experience angels, and then as they get older, they begin to forget. And then the mind moves outward even more. We have the societal conditioning. Buy a car and you'll be happy. Get married, you'll be happy. Have a lot of money, you'll be happy. But nothing on the outside will bring us peace or joy or love. It's an illusion. And so what we begin to do is function out here at the surface level of the mind. And I think scientists say we use maybe like 10% of the mind, something like that, a very low percentage. And what's happening though is now we're thinking like scientists have measured it's around 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day, and it's probably more now. And apparently the greatest addiction is thinking.
It is the greatest addiction. If I were to tell you stop thinking right now, you would immediately have a thought about not thinking. And then you'd think around that, and you'd think another thought around that, another thought around that, and you'd be going, oh, what the heck is he talking about? What's he thinking, man? This guy's, what's he thinking about that I'm thinking? And so we get into this loop, and most of these 60,000 to 90,000 thoughts a day are thoughts that are repeated from yesterday, and they're today. There are thoughts about, you wake up and immediately you have a thought about your day coming up, and you're thinking about what's going to show up or what you're going to have to do for your day or how you're going to have to perform throughout your day. And then there's all the thoughts about, well, I got to go in and take my shower. I got to make my coffee. I got to make my tea and breakfast and yada, 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 yada. And then you go throughout the day, and if you review your thoughts for today and compare them to your thoughts of yesterday, probably 90% of them are the same thoughts that you had the day before and the day before and the day before and the day before and the day before. And so you continually are in this loop, and we have to have a lot of these thoughts in order for us to function throughout the day. But we can introduce new thoughts in there that can help us experience this more and more. Now we've been living out here on the surface level of the mind, and by the time because we truly want to experience this more than anything, we want to experience the peace and the joy that we experienced when we were very young, but there's someplace in us that knows about that peace and joy, but because of all of these filters that we've created, now we're living out here on the surface level of the mind, and we try to move inward, but it just doesn't work. We keep bouncing back out. Yeah,
we can, and I could draw here a picture of the brain. This is a small brain. Can you see that okay? Okay, so it's kind of like a crude diagram, the left and right hemisphere. And so this is the chaotic brain. The brain waves are not in perfect coherence. You have a chaotic mind with well, I guess I should have brought kind of like that. Yeah, oops. So they're not in perfect coherence, the brain waves. They've hooked, scientists have hooked people up to the EEG, the electroencephalogram, and that's a thinking mind. However, there's another type of experience of the brain waves, and that is the peak experience. And you know that being psychologist, the Abraham Maslow, the peak experience, and he studied that his life, almost his entire life. And so with the peak experience, we've all had those. the peak experiences where you're completely present. There's no thinking, there's no fear, and you wouldn't change it for anything. And we've all had those, but they're inconsistent. And so it could be like, from my own experience, when I was before I learned to meditate, I'd experience those out in nature, or when the snow was falling, getting up in the morning and then the snow, and it's like, and this just this awe-inspiring moment. Or at night, looking at the stars, and then the mind would be still and just be completely present and huge. And with each of you, can you remember when you've had a peak experience?
For me, is with my pets that I think Jamie can relate. I mean, I'm sure you cannot relate. You know, that they are more innocent than people, you know, usually. And so with them, they are usually present. And right now, my dog is under here snoring. She likes this. And you know, they're just so no grudges. And with them, I'm able to think of nothing. They're my props. That's how, yeah, nature too, you know, but we live in this bit. I was thinking, so lucky that you can see the stars, Surya, but like here, you know, it's so overpopulated. When do you see the stars? Like, it's hard to see them. But anyway, so pets is my version of nature. There you go. I'll unmute Cecilia.
Well, I like to believe that I experience that every single day. And something that I would love to ask you is that you mentioned something about thinking. Maybe it's just a matter of words, because I agree completely with you that what we have there in the middle, that is the essence of ourselves. And all the circles that are around are, in what I study, conditional reflex. They are not even thoughts. They are routines. They are things that you do. You think you're thinking, but you're not thinking at all. You're just like a robot or a machine who wake up, make the coffee, do this, do that, get married, have children, but you don't think about it. The people don't think, just react. And so what I think, and I'm thinking right now, is that the problem is not about thinking. The problem is about no thinking. People, they're just reacting without even process what they are doing. If not, why we have the shooting?
Yeah.
If you stop that person and say, okay, think of, okay, one sec, think about it. Maybe they do something different.
So, and all of that.
Hi to my cat, everybody.
Oh. He's in a good mood today.
So
she's never in a good mood.
Well, I can tell you this, Cecilia, that in all of that routine and robotic stuff, people are still thinking. They may be going through the routine, but they're thinking about something.
Yeah.
There's something going in their heads all the time. So they are thinking. And they'll be down, they'll be going through their routine, they'll be at the mirror brushing their teeth, and they're going, wow, I should have did this with her last night, or I can't wait to see my boss because I'm going to tell him off. They move from the bathroom, they go into the kitchen to go get their routine cup of coffee, and they're sitting there going, instead of being present with their cup of coffee and maybe their family, they're thinking all the stuff they got to do at work. Or they're going, damn, I did this at work, and it's just like, wow. And so they're judging their past, or they're worrying are concerned about their future and thinking about their future, and they are not present.
Yeah.
So they're going through that mindless routine, but they are also thinking at the same time.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there is thinking going on all the time. A lot of these grooves are just habitual things that they've picked up in their lives, and they've had some sort of impact that's caused them to act a certain way and behave a certain way. Or, you know, some people are happy and carefree. Some people are angry all the time. And there's been some incident in their lives that has made such an impact that they've slipped into this mode and they can't get out of it. Everything touches them off, or everything makes them overjoyed, or, you know, hysterical. It's just something, there's some impact. And so that's what these grooves are about. There's some incident that happened when the baby was very young. You know, maybe the baby heard in the distance their parents arguing, and it scared her. And she didn't have any ideas or concepts about words or sentences or language. She just felt the energy of the anger, and it made an impact on, and it shocked her nervous system. And so there it's embedded, some sort of fear or doubt of some sort. And the same things happens here. You meet your new brother or little sister, and now there's competition in the house. And so now there's something happens, you know. And that's happened in my family, because I have 3 sisters and a brother, and they're so competitive. It's just crazy. They're nuts good athletes, and there was just always this competition, you know. And you go to school, and there's so much competition at school. There's so much pressure for you to act, to behave, or look a certain way. And so some groove happens that gives you maybe perhaps some feeling of low self-esteem or self-worth, you know, and some people just can't get out of that. And so what happens is, now, instead of experiencing this all the time, our thoughts are filtered. Our day is filtered by all of these conscious or unconscious grooves that we've created in our lives. And so I agree with you. We have thoughtless routine actions that we go through every day, because we remember how to do things. We remember how to pull up our pants, you know, we remember how to tie our shoes, we remember how to cook, we remember how to drive. Those are routine things, and we don't have to really think about them. We just do them. But there is a slight amount of thinking. When you get in your car, you know how to start it up and you get going, or you get on your bicycle and remember how to ride your bike, but the environment changes around you and you're still thinking. You still have to think. So everybody, every day is thinking 60,000 to 90,000 thoughts a day.
Shall we hear Jamie's moment? She hasn't spoken.
What happened?
Shall we hear Jamie's moment?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So I call it my magical moment. I just had my 5-year anniversary last month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a magical moment that I had in Palm Springs, California, at my company's Abundant Living Retreat. And it was the most life-changing thing that ever happened. And it was a sunrise over the mountains. It was the first time I ever saw a sunrise over the mountains. It might have been the first time I ever saw the sunrise. I'm not really sure. And it was my first time really ever experiencing the mountains. And it was like God spoke to me about moving to Vegas, or moving California, or moving Southwest, and that forever changed my life. So it's hard to explain. I wish I could have a moment like that every single day. So that was my moment. Yep.
I think you can have that moment every single day. It's possible.
Maybe that's what we're going to learn tonight. I don't know.
Thank you. All right.
And I've had that sunset, kind of a sunrise experience myself. I lived in California for a lot of my life, and I watched the sunset go down into the ocean hundreds of times, and there would be that same particular moment to where there was actually no existence of anything else. There was no thought about what am I going to do when the sun sets, or there was no thought about how I got to that spot. There was no future thought, no past thought. There was just a total witnessing of being in the present moment. And that's what you experienced. I when you said it, and you said, and I just can't explain it, because the moments like that are really, they're truly unexplainable. There's no words for them. So I agree with you, and I'm really happy for you. I'm glad you had that moment, because we want to have that moment over and over and over. And it's like Cecilia said, we can have that moment in every moment. And it's just a matter of choice. And it's like, here comes the next question. It's like, okay, well, how do I make that choice? How does that work?
Before we go on to that, I can show you they hook people up to the EEG, the electroencephalogram, and they did show with the peak experience that this is what happens. The brain waves are in perfect coherence. So that's what happens when we have that peak experience. Or they measured the brain waves in perfect coherence when people were ascending with their eyes open and closed. And they'd say, some teachers have said that they were hooked up to the EEG, and they said, don't start to ascend yet. And they'd already started to, they were ascending already. And so it shows that there's the scientific proof that yes, you can experience that peak experience in every moment. So
really, and I got to witness that actually. I was with a teacher, and we were in Tacoma, Washington, and we went to some doctors who we met through another teacher, and he wanted to hook one of us up to an EEG. And so he hooked my fellow teacher, up to the EEG, and I got to watch the monitor, and I got to watch that happen. And so he actually said, stop ascending. And so the guy just kind of forced himself to not ascend, because that's what we do all the time. And I saw the break in the waves, and then it started again. It just like momentarily, he goes, that's the best I can do. And he just kept ascending, and the patterns were just so smooth and easy. And the doctor was astounded.
oh, sorry, sweetie.
I just wanted to be the timekeeper, because I didn't give anybody a time, but I don't know how long we may need, and if everybody can stay.
We'll just be about 10 more minutes with the intro talk. Minutes. Are you is everyone able to stay for about 10 more minutes?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Okay, so what we do teach, we teach ascension, and they're based on ascension is based on four techniques: praise, gratitude, love, and compassion. Can you see that? Okay. So what we call these are ascension attitudes. They're new attitudes. And what we teach you to do is to use these techniques with eyes open and closed. And what happens is that when you use the ascension attitude, it moves the mind inward to the ascendant, to the source, to all that is. And what happens is, what naturally happens is, these grooves, these beliefs, self-limiting beliefs, just begin to dissolve on their own. And we don't have to pick which is going to dissolve. Like, we're not going to say, I have a fear of dogs, and so today I'm going to sit down and ascend with my eyes closed, and that fear is going to dissolve. It just happens naturally on its own accord, when we ascend with eyes open and eyes closed. And so these grooves just dissolve. Our nervous system begins to clear out. And then we may find that we become more present every time we use these ascension attitudes. The body experiences deep rest when we ascend with our eyes closed. And then with our eyes open, we prevent stress from being built up in our nervous system. And so we begin to expand consciousness. And it's not a belief. These techniques are not a belief. You don't have to believe in that they're going to work. They just naturally work. It's not a religion, like Skanda was saying. And it's just simply the nervous system clears out and consciousness expands through that, using praise, gratitude, love, and compassion.
All of our techniques are based on praise, gratitude, love, and compassion. And they automatically work. It's like Surya said, we don't sit down and pick something that we want to heal. The universe has a higher knowledge than we do about ourselves. And so it's like, for me, what was the most important thing when I first learned how to ascend was that I needed rest. And so the more rest I got, the more clarity I gained. And I began to settle down. I began settling down inwardly, so outwardly my expression was a more settled down expression. One of the first indicators for me that came from the outside, at the time I'd been teaching martial arts for about 15 years. I've been teaching jiu-jitsu, and I was pretty high strung. And and so I'm on the mat one evening about a month after I'd learned how to ascend, and I'm standing there with another black belt, and we're watching all of our students go through their thing. And this one student just she just walks over to me and she goes, "What have you been doing?" And I go, "Well, what do you mean?" She goes, "Well, you're not such an ass anymore." And and I went, "Well, thank you. I've been practicing this meditation." She goes, "Please keep doing it." And so, unbeknownst to me, I had actually begun to settle down and to relax and become less high strung, more kickback, more mellow. And actually, when I went home, and I remember going home and going, "Wow, I'm not such an ass anymore." And I didn't even realize I'd been such an ass, and to begin with. And so, and I went, and I kind of self-analyzed, and I realized that I was more relaxed. And the thing that caused me to be more relaxed was I was less fearful. And it actually was really a great revelation, because I didn't realize that I had been so fearful. I was actually afraid of everything, and I had walls around me built up to protect myself. And all of those walls started falling away, just very gently and naturally, and unbeknownst to me. And it became really clear that I was pretty much an ass up until then. and it was, I thought that was such a cool thing for me. And I've really mellowed out a lot over the years. And just because I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Not much bothers me. I can, a lot of stuff comes at me, and it doesn't, it's like my nervous system was so clogged up with all of these ideas and fears that it was just clogged, and everything that would come at me would attach, and I would have some sort of reaction towards it. And then as the more that I ascended, the more my nervous system became clearer. All that was coming to me wasn't bothering me like it used to. And it was really an amazing thing, because when I would just used to just kind of do this kind of thing when somebody would come at me, and now I'm more, it's like, okay, you know, it's cool, you know, everything's fine, don't worry about it. And now instead of doing this, it's kind of more like that, you know, my whole life is like that. It's really been a great switch for me. And I've been, you know, it's like I said, I've been doing this a long time, but it doesn't take a long time for that to happen. It can happen for you so quickly. And what is really an amazing thing for me as well is that this teaching has evolved as well over these years. And people are experiencing more of this divine experience very, very quickly and very soon. And it's really been kind of fun for me to watch, because I've been doing this for 21 years now, and to see people take a course and their first weekend and they're experiencing peace right away. You know, so it's pretty a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah, and it's just simply remembering again. It's like not something magical. Around enlightenment, there always seem to be some glitter and mystery, but it's all our birthright. And we just look at children, they're you know, infants, babies, they're already enlightened. That's their true nature. So all this does is just uncover all of that till it's always been there. We're always that. And it's just getting clear again, experiencing our true nature. So it's a great tool, great techniques to use. It's very simple and it works.
Cool. So we're going to teach a course in Las Vegas, May 19th and 20th at Elena's place. And everybody's invited to attend. Are you going to be playing this, rebroadcasting this Zoom call at some time, Elena?
Oh, can't hear you, Elena.
You.
Sure.
You. Okay.
I can. Yes, I can. So I don't know very many people in Vegas. So so maybe Jamie and Cecilia can help me. They've been here longer. And I mean, okay. So Jamie, would you be willing? No pressure, but would you be willing to actually? Jamie was gonna come and live with me while in house, and
she's adorable. So you can go to her house. She will make you feel, you know, you're at home. Yeah. Don't worry about that.
You can come anytime. And yeah, and I was already planning this thing, but then, you know, as I didn't tell you because there's so many things. But anyway, yes. So cause you know, Surya and Skanda are really just coming from the kindness of their heart to get Las Vegas in check. So they're paying for all their flight and everything. So I figured the least I can do is offer my home. Luckily, it's large enough to for a nice group of people. So I think the limit would be 15. So we can get, right, Jeff? Correct me if I'm wrong. So we can all really go deep. And so it would be Saturday and Sunday, we said?
Yes.
And May 9th, May again, what are the dates?
Yeah, we'll be there. Actually, we'll be there on the 18th. And so we can do another introductory talk there at your place in that evening, if you'd like.
Friday evening? Yeah, sure.
18th. And the course is the weekend, 19th and 20th, 9 till around 5 p.m.
Yeah, so Saturday and Sunday. Okay. So Jamie, would this be of interest to you? Would you come for the weekend? Do you know anybody else who also may be interested?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I can do a lot of things. I can do an email, or I can do a Facebook invite. I can send out emails to people. There's a lot of different things I can do. What is the, is there no cost for it?
There is a cost for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is?
So can we do the disclaimer?
What?
Can we do the disclaimer?
Okay, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Elena
sure.
has nothing to do with this monetarily. She's not accepting any money for this. She doesn't get any side kickbacks or anything about this. Elena does not collect anything. All she's doing,
This is she.
Be a sponsor.
Yeah, she's just a sponsor. She's going to have it at her house. We're the ones who get the money.
I'll offer free lunch even. Okay, how's that? So organic. Yeah, actually, just in case people ask, because I don't know, this is the tuition. Jeff is going to cover what, the material.
Yeah, it just covers our flights, and any money that we get above and beyond our expenses for the trip, it goes right back into the teaching, and we use it to expense our trips to other courses and help people out.
Can you tell us how much is it?
$100 US.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the entire weekend. Okay, I'll throw in.
Well,
But
yeah, why to wait so much after that question?
I wanted to make clear, you know, when we envision all of this, that that, you know, I invited some clients. They're not here tonight on the intro. So I want, and friends, you're my friend. So I didn't want it to be any conflict of interest, and this is really true. This is I don't pocket at all, and I wouldn't. This is my way to you know, I'm new to Vegas, to get to know more people and have some more tools. I think this is going to be really effective for the city, especially after what we went through October 1st, first month I was here. So just I wanted you to know that. I mean, I think the price is reasonable. And
So I'm
yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
it's $400
Yeah.
and the 19th and 20th or
Yeah.
18th. Yeah.
19th and 20th. We can do an introduction talk as well on the Friday evening if anyone wants to come for one. If you know of people.
May 19th and
Okay.
20th.
And Jeff, I didn't ask you this before, but
I'm sorry. How many? I'm sorry. I'm trying to be clear here. 19th, 20th weekend. That is on May. $400. And what is the time?
10 a.m.-ish to 6.
She said.
What is the Amish? What?
10 a.m. to what?
Sure, 6.
To 6.
So 8 hours means 16 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jeff, for couples, is there maybe a bundle like Cecilia's got her life partner Mauro?
But we are not going. I'm not going.
Oh, you're not coming?
No.
Okay. So but you may know other people.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
To spread the word. Okay. For couples, maybe.
Couple, 350 each.
Same thing.
350 each, so 700 for a couple.
350. Okay, for couples.
Yeah.
700 the couple. Okay.
And I would, just so you know, so I would like to go, and my only concern is I'm leaving the following weekend to go to Wisconsin for 3 months. So that's going to be my last weekend here. So I don't know if I can, I might have to wait till the last minute to see, because I have to like pack and get ready and everything. That'll be my last weekend here. So I'd like to make it if I can.
Okay. All right. Thank you for letting us know. So.
No, I said I didn't give any explanation, but I just, you know, I'm straight. I'm telling you, I won't be able to do it. I know, because I'm going to be busy. So I know that I cannot make it. But that's why I wanted to know the whole information so I can tell. Anyway, I will love, because I know the people if I communicate something and they ask me about it, I would love to know more what to say. Because right now, if I ask someone to pay $400 for 16 hours of their weekend, and I said, you are gonna ascend and you're gonna be connected with your, let's say, your essence, and in that way you will gonna dissolve all the circles around you that through the years were built, and they would tell me, what are you talking about? Okay, but what we are gonna do, those are exercises, physical exercises. They are gonna just talk. What people are gonna ask me, and I would love to know what to answer.
So a good source of information for those people is to go to www.thebrightpath.com.
Losing people in that path. I'm just saying.
Okay, so that's just a source, but tell them that what we're going to be doing is teaching them a way to meditate that will help them move beyond the surface level thoughts of the mind.
Say that again.
We're going to teach techniques, meditation techniques that are going to help people move beyond the limiting thoughts of the mind. And that's basically it in a nutshell. And then whatever happens for them is what happens for them. I can't tell people.
Okay. But just one more question. There are techniques in which involve the way that you breathe?
No.
Okay, good.
Simple.
No, because they're very different.
They're
very dangerous.
Yeah.
Those.
So they're mental, mechanical techniques.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're mental,
Because
mechanical.
I don't want to send anyone to death. That's it. No, I'm serious. I'm taking very serious what you're saying, and that's why I'm asking serious questions.
Sure. Yeah, and Cecilia, when they go to the brightpath.com website, there's little short videos there as well, little short intro talks, people's experience of ascending. So they can get a clear experience that way. And then if you want, you could send them to the intro talk at Elena's for Friday evening, or if you want us to do another Zoom intro talk, we'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
We do follow up, though. It's important people know we follow up with them after they learn to ascend. We don't just teach and bye-bye. It's like people call us up for help. People within a community can have weekly meetings. We can join via Zoom call to support ascenders. Like we call people who've learned to meditate with these techniques ascenders. And then for the core group that learns, we also have weekly follow-up calls for just that group for every week for 6 weeks. So we really want to support people who have learned to ascend.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, actually.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, all of you. All. Elena, which was organizing, Jamie, that I really would love to meet you before you go to Wisconsin. And both of you, thank you so much for your passion, your dedication, your love, and your patience with all our questions.
And where will you be that weekend? You be out of town?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
No, busy, no out of town. I don't want to say, but I'm going to be doing an activity with my clients, but I didn't want to say that because it's kind of rude. Like, I'm going to be busy with my clients.
That weekend.
It didn't sound nice.
No problem.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thanks for being here. Cecilia.
Yes, thanks for showing up.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you, really. I appreciate.
The same International Coach Federation. So, so I know we probably send it out late. The head one, Wendy, sent out the invite late. But anyway, I know somebody today. I don't know.
She's she's really out of town right now for 10 days.
Yeah. She's in England.
She's in.
So somebody today emailed me with some question. I don't even know who that is. I answered, but I don't. and so, but Jamie, you're so polite. You think you maybe can send out a little mailer? I'll put this on YouTube, unlisted, so only people who have the link can see it, or public if you guys don't care. And then maybe anybody who's interested, you can show it to them.
Yeah, and I want to do my best to be there. I mean, this will be my incentive to get my stuff packed up even earlier and moved into storage even earlier.
Yes.
Like the weekend before. And yeah, I can do a Facebook invite. I can post up on Facebook. I can send emails, and I'll do whatever I can. It would really help if somebody could maybe just, if you guys could maybe type up just a little, like 1 or 2 paragraphs. For me, because I don't want to have to come up with the wording myself. And if you come up with 1 or 2 paragraphs, then I can put that into an email or a Facebook invite or a post or whatever, and that would be really helpful.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you, Jamie. So I don't have to think about something that I don't have the whole knowledge about it. You're the best to know.
Sure.
We'll send it to Elena, and then Elena can send it to you. Good.
Okay, terrific.
Good.
Perfect.
Great. We'll write something up and very simple and precise and concise. No mistakes.
Nice. Okay, very good. And Cecilia, if you can reschedule with your client, no pressure, but we would love you to supervise. or bring your client too.
Elena, I'm here because you said it, okay? I'm right here. It's 8:30 already. I gotta go really since 8.
Okay.
But thank you so much, all of you, and really, an honor meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I love you guys. Okay,
Bye-bye.
the recording. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you for the invite.
My pleasure. Thank you.
See you there.
Well.
You too. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye, honey. See you soon.
Bye.
Show us your cat really quick.
My cat?
Yeah.
I don't know where she went. She's laying on the floor. She'll probably cry. I'll try to get her. You really want to see her? I'll try to pick her up.
Reminds me of one of those cartoons. I see fur flying.
Good job, you guys.
Oh, thank you,
great.
Lena.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, we love doing this. I've done hundreds of these, and they've all been different.
Here she is.
Look at that time.
Oh.
So sweet.
Oh, what's her name?
Nala.
Nala. Hi, Nala.
Honey, you're gonna learn to ascend with your mama.
Nala.
Cousin's grumpy cat.
Maybe we can ascend on our drive to Wisconsin. That's going to take 30 hours to get there.
Oh, perfect timing.
You'll be able to use your ascension attitudes all the way there.
How old is she? How old is she?
She'll be 15 in June.
Oh, really?
Wow. She looks great. I wouldn't have.
Very pretty.
Yeah, she looks really good.
She's very healthy. She's overweight, but she's very, very healty.
Oh,
I take very good care of her.
of course.
Look at her. She's so
like
mellow.
a little baby. Lying there.
She's my baby. Oh.
Nice, sweetie. She's like,
Just
what
look
is
at-
up? What is all of you humans?
She's like, why did you pick me up? She bit me when I picked her up off the floor.
It was a love bite.
Yeah,
right.
I get a lot of love bites.
Yes. I'll talk to you soon. And so thank you for sending that mailer, because I don't know very many people here, and so it'll be fun to do it among friends. We're gonna limit it to 15 just so that we can have a good experience, and it'll be fun. We'll all be close friends. So
Okay.
Yeah, both days we do a potluck lunch as well.
yeah.
Something simple.
Yeah,
Yes.
something simple, preferably vegetarian.
Yes.
Don't encourage people to bring racks of ribs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of heavy.
Definitely.
Are you guys vegetarian?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm vegan.
You're vegan?
We go to retreats where it's all vegetarian and stuff in it, so.
It's
Okay.
just lighter when you do so much work to even digest,
Yeah,
I-
when we say vegetarian for the weekend, it's because we just want people to eat light.
Oh, okay. I eat vegan a lot. I'm not a vegan, but I try to avoid the animal products as much as possible.
Good girl. Okay.
Nala heard you there.
What?
Your cat's going.
Nala heard you. Your cat heard you. Yes.
I certainly don't eat cats.
I've never eaten a cat.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So we'll follow up via email, and we'll go from there.
Okay,
Sure.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, we'll draw up something that you can send out.
Okay.
You and I should get together for fun. Maybe you can come over, say hi, for tea or something. Okay?
Yeah, or I'll come swimming in your pool.
Yeah, it's already hot enough for sure. You got it. Bye, honey. I'll see you soon. Thank you, Surya and Skanda. You did great. Thank you so much.
You too, Elena.
Thank you for organizing
Really,
this. And
good job, everybody.
yeah, nice to meet you, Jamie.
You too. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.